Shalom. My name is Chris Tachik. I am a translation consultant with Wycliffe and Seed Company, and it is my joy to be here in Jerusalem at the Jerusalem Center for Bible Translators. I've been here for 2 weeks at the Proverbs course. Murray Salisbury has been our teacher, and Ronit Maoz, and we've done some other trips outside of Yad Hashmonah, where the center is here. We went to go one day to visit Berika, to visit a pool and to see how it fed a garden. And we talked about palge mayim, the expression palge mayim, which has often been translated as streams of water, but she showed us how they're actually channels of water in the garden itself. And so when that expression is used in Psalm 1, also in Proverbs 21, verse 1, where the king's heart is a stream of water in the hand of the Lord. The stream of water there is those channels of water it's an irrigation ditch used in a garden that's protected and well resourced with water. So a very different picture than I had in terms of the English text about streams, but palge mayim there gives more of an impression of being cared for and tended and guarded and protected and well resourced with water. So that was one thing that took away from this course. Also with Murray Salisbury, we've done a lot of textual work, and he had 7 steps for just how to understand regular Proverbs, and I've used those with all the Proverbs that we've studied these 3 weeks, but I've been 2 weeks here in person. And applying those steps with each proverb has been really helpful for me. And one of the principles that I've put into practice with him is, commentaries go all over the place in terms of how they've interpreted the book of Proverbs. But one of the best interpretation places to go to for a proverb is to look at other proverbs. And that's something that Murray has really reinforced with us. And that came really to bear when we looked at Proverbs 11:30. Fruit of righteousness is a tree of life. And then the next part was a really difficult part in Hebrew, because it talked about lokeach nefashot hacham. So the capture or the taking of lives is a wise person. And all throughout Scripture, taking of lives or taking of souls, taking of lives is always a negative. It's killing. But through looking at another proverb, we were able to see that another way of understanding it might be capturing attention, but also rescuing lives as well. So we're taking it as a double entendre. And I don't think I would have seen that had I not, with Murray, seen other proverbs and other ways of understanding it, and that the proverbs themselves are meant to shock. And there's a difference in wording Hebrew expressions in a short, concise way. So those are some things that I've picked up through this course and have really appreciated as I've studied here at JCBT at this course. Thank you so much. Shalom.
My name is Daniel Gia. I'm a Bible translation consultant. I live in Nigeria and I work in Anglophone West Africa. It's been a wonderful time being here in Israel, learning again how to translate Proverbs. Proverbs are really very difficult to translate because they are formed in very different contexts, and oftentimes you find different translations or versions of the Bible translating them differently, and then you wonder why. These are the questions that we have always been having when we try to translate the book of Proverbs. When you look at the different translations and you see them differently, you look at the Hebrew, you get more confused, because sometimes you understand, even when you understand the words in the Hebrew text, how to make sense of those words sometimes is really very difficult. Then having been here and going through with other colleagues and Professor More Salisbury, helping to go through these proverbs, looking at the proverbs in their context, studying the structure, studying related proverbs and other informations that connect to those proverbs elsewhere in the text of the scriptures. I have found that to be very, very helpful. And also looking at the textual variations using the textual apparatus, especially as we will have them in the various, like in the BHS or BHQ or the net. All of those I've found them very, very helpful. I got a lot of ideas on how to translate the biblical proverbs from there. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity.
I'm Bev Erasmus. I come from South Africa and I live in Madagascar. I work with teams in Madagascar. This course on Proverbs has just been, I think I can say, mind-blowing. It's, I know Proverbs is difficult already, but to go into the tools that Murray has given us and the ways that he's shown us, the different ways of taking them apart and putting them back together, the poetry, the beauty of Proverbs. I didn't realize how difficult they really were. But he's given us tools that are really going to help us with translators to help the translators to really break into translating Proverbs as Proverbs should be translated hopefully into the kind of the way that the local people have Proverbs, the way that they use Proverbs, the language that they use, the poetry that they use. And so it's really been wonderful to, first of all, go from how the Old Testament writers, how they presented these beautiful sayings, and how we can then transfer them into languages that can really use them, that it's not just going to be in a book that sits somewhere. Now it's translated. But this, I think this is going to help translators to translate Proverbs that are going to be alive and used and vibrant in their communities.